Wait, don't you have an opening prayer? We forgot the opening prayer. Adrian. Opening prayer. Oh, okay. Good morning, you beautiful godlings. My name is Reverend Liz, and I welcome you to our Sunday celebration right here at our Center for Spiritual Living in Beaumont, California. And wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are always welcome here, for all paths lead to just that one God. So happy New Year, everyone. We finally said goodbye to 2020. Now a new year has begun, and our global theme is timeless wisdom and evolutionary vision. We are not on this physical journey just to give our parents a hard time, to go to school, get a career, get married, make babies, get a mortgage, and then die. No, we are here for more than that. We are also here to gain wisdom on the journey and to evolve and grow. Because the fundamental principles of science of mind are ageless and it crosses many faith traditions. It is through our teachings that we have the opportunity to continue evolving and expanding our vision. We are continually growing into something newer and bigger instead of stagnating. Now, I think that we should know the man who founded this teaching and how it came to be in our lives 100 years later, and why we still resonate with it today. That was Ernest. It's a book written by a lifelong friend and close associate, Reginald Armour. It is a personal and informal memoir of Dr. Ernest Holmes, The History of Religious Science and New Thought. Reginald Armour was the only person to have been beside Ernest Holmes on almost a daily basis, from the time shortly after Holmes moved from Maine to California in 1912 until his death in 1960. The author tells us that from early childhood, Ernest Holmes was convinced of the wholeness of God, expressing as spirit or the presence, and as a universal law expressing as power. These were instinctive realizations that prompted him to unceasingly seek verifying answers from every source. So he became a truth seeker to find answers to these questions. What is God? What is life? What are we? And what is our place in the scheme of things? It was these questions that constantly stimulated his quest for truth, and he added his insight of truth to the findings of the great, the good, and the wise of all ages. But he made no personal claim to the discovery of any great truth. His constant search led him to feel very close to an infinite presence. He spent many hours, often days of meditation and communion with, as he puts it, a power for good greater than we are in the universe that we can use. In his later years, some of his experiences bordered on the mystical, and he had flashes of cosmic consciousness. These experiences left him with an unshaken faith and a certainty of conviction arrived at through his intellectual search for truth. And through his search and times of meditation, he had the immovable conviction that he never walked alone, that there is a light that lighteth every man that cometh into the world. He sought always to walk in this light and depend on it for guidance. Dr. Holmes sensed God everywhere and felt that the guidance of spirit was a very real experience. He did not talk about these glimpses of reality and would not admit to being classed as a mystic, although his inspirational writings are evidence in the truth that he was a mystic. He refused to let anyone put him on a pedestal. His insights led him to believe, and we must of necessity live in an objective world of changing conditions and affairs, but that we also have our roots in the great reality or the wholeness of the God, mind, or life, which does not change. He observed the response of this power to thought, word, and feeling, and he explored the field of prayer and mental healing. He approached the subject from the intellectual as well as the emotional and feeling side of mind. And from this, he made a great contribution to modern studies and the demonstration of mental, spiritual mind healing, which we refer to as treatment. Dr. Holmes knew that in our search for truth and wisdom, we would never understand it all. He also recognized that true wisdom and enlightenment are a continuous spiritual unfoldment, and that should lead us to a happier, more prosperous, and healthier experience of living. Dr. Holmes was a practical idealist and an idealistic realist. These were the qualities that made him the great man that he was, who, through his teaching and writings, changed the lives and influence and continues to influence the thinking of countless thousands of people throughout the world, including you and me. That was Ernest. So this month, we will explore the ancient and sacred wisdom that Dr. Holmes has drawn upon. And as we begin to contemplate our individual consciousness, we realize that we stand on the shoulders of giants and that we see into a new horizon. This philosophy and teaching grounds us in timeless wisdom, in the study and embodiment of the wisdom of all faiths and all cultures, and in the universal truths embodied in them. Because without the grounding of timeless wisdom, we cannot open the evolutionary pulses that is always calling us inward to that deeper part of ourselves and upward to the greater reality of our individual and collective evolution of consciousness. And that is why timeless wisdom is contained in our Declaration of Principles that was written by Dr. Holmes himself. And as we now see it on the screen, we believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe in the incarnation of the Spirit in everyone and that all people are incarnations of one Spirit. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. And therein lies the path to God. And so let us pray. So let's just take in that deep breath, that breath of life, that breath of God, that breath of heaven. And just relax yourself in your chair. And just let the words you've just heard simmer and percolate within you. And drop into your heart space. Go into that sacred temple of the Most High. For that highest God, that innermost God, is just one God. And in this sacred temple, we find the light and the love that is source itself. How good it feels. How good it feels to just sit here and know this and embrace this truth, that this is who we are. We are that magnificent spiritual being of light and love. And as we recognize our truth, and as we realize that we hold the power, we have the divine authority to shine our light into the world. And this is the beginning of a new year, a new way of living, a new way of thinking, a new way of feeling. Expand that light that is within you. Expand it and let it fill your entire physical body. And anything unlike this light, anything that is unlike the God self, that is blocking the light of God in your body, release that now. Release all the pain, all the discomfort, all the concerns, all the anxiety, all our health issues, all our health challenges. Let it go. And just be that spirit expressing, walking in the light of truth. And we expand our light upward and outward. And we send it forth into the world. And as our light touches those that are not connected to their light, we know that just simply by intending our light to touch theirs, it ignites the light within until the whole world is lit up with that spiritual light, the Creator's light, because it is the light that heals, it is the light that loves, it is the light that unites us all. We hold that divine power, and let us use it. Let us use it to bring peace. Let us use it to end the suffering, the fear, and the anxiety, all the leftovers from 2020, and surrender all of it. And we open ourselves to the new, something bigger, something newer. And we simply know that starting today, we go forth grander than ever before, for that is who we are. And so I give thanks. I give thanks for this Sunday service. I give thanks for the spiritual sustenance that we were fed to sustain us today and the days to come. And I speak my word and I release it into that universal law, the law that says, yes, it is done. And in sweet, sweet, sweet surrender, I just let it all go and I let God. And together, let us anchor and affirm this prayer by saying, and so it is. And I let it be so. Thank you for joining us in our Sunday celebration. And if you like what you hear, if you want to continue to be a part of our Sunday celebration, I invite you to come to the full service, which begins at 9:45 with meditation. And you can find the invitation to the Zoom sanctuary on our website. But I thank you for coming. Namaste.
Thank you for participating in our service. You can do online giving by texting GIVE to 951-420-6909. You can visit our website at cslbeaumont.org and click the Donate button at the bottom or the top of the screen. Or you can mail your donation to Center for Spiritual Living, 802 Maple Avenue, Beaumont, California, 92223. If you enjoyed this service and are watching on YouTube or Facebook, please like and share this video and add a comment on it. If you haven't already on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel and hit the little notification bell to be updated when we post new content. For those on Zoom, visit our Facebook page to comment and share to help spread this message.